Come here, I'm gonna show you real quick.
Mini Renie is a way to show people how you can really transform a space on a budget and less than a week. But there's a couple rules. No demo day, no walls get knocked down. We're just using things like paint, trim, tile, and furniture all within the existing space. You know, you can do a lot with that. And then some of the most creative things happen. You can really make big impact when you just get a little creative and you think outside the box. And the hope is that we inspire people
To get ideas for your very own mini Renie.
Okay, so are you showing me on 3 different computers or one? How are we doing
Just
this?
one.
Okay, so I'd say the first house that inspired Mini Renie was a home that the homeowners were about to move into. So we thought, hey, let's step in and see what we can do in less than a week. I loved that quick transformation. For me, someone who loves that before and after, Mini Renie is a way to stay grounded, get my wiggles out in these smaller ways. Like if I'm really craving color or certain concepts, I can do that on these homes.
Okay, so we put this deck together.
I've had the same small group of designers for over 10 years now, and we work together to figure out all the details for every project.
It's a little bit of a cottage feel.
So the process for Mini Renie is we ask our friends, we ask people in the office, do you all know anybody who has a house they're moving into or a house where they're needing some work?
It was built in the 30s, so it's got a lot of character.
Okay.
It would be really good for our tight timeline.
I will say I like the fireplace. There are details about this, like I'm seeing that mantle and it's white. I'm seeing the built-in and it's white, and I get excited about letting those be the features and playing with color here. Yeah, I love this one.
Great. Love it.
We've got our next Mini Renie. This house belongs to one of our amazing employees. We asked her for some keywords just to get a sense of what she's going for, and she gave us storied, era, authentic, detailed, and artful twist. Cute house. I like the trim color and stuff.
I know, it's cute.
Ooh. Once I step into the space, I think is when everything starts really clicking in my mind and we can start going. Has she described style, like wish list? You know, like, does she love the fireplace as is? Can we play with that?
They've given freedom as far as design goes.
Okay. Obviously, it would be, you know, how do you draw more attention to the fireplace?
Right.
I'm only gonna pick 3 rooms just for budget. And I landed on the 3 rooms that really flowed together, which would be the living room, into the dining room, and then into the breakfast nook. Moving into the dining, I feel like it's already pretty cute, but we could really highlight this little built-in.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you tie in the existing charming character of this house, expand on it? I think in smaller spaces, I'm always like, how can you make impact in these little detailed ways? So I think this room could be fun, trim, maybe wallpaper, simple. Kitchen, okay, I would not do this space just because I think it becomes an actual like construction project. But I think this is more, how do we make this just come alive? I almost just think, what can we do on the wall?
Yeah.
Really cozy up this space.
Right.
From day one, I told the design team, you know, there's a couple rules. One of the rules is everything that we're gonna add to this house has to be available to us within a week. It has to be something we can get locally at the hardware store, light fixtures, wallpaper, etc. And the goal with that is that the impact is big, but it didn't require weeks upon weeks of waiting for these materials. If y'all can get all the measurements today, and then we'll get started.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
See ya.
So now that we know what the house looks like, we've come up with a plan for the materials and the look of each room. Good morning.
Hi, Joe.
Ooh, pretty colors. So with the timeline being really quick, today is the day where we're just trying to quickly figure out what is it we're wanting to tackle in each space, even if we could really nail down all the materials and then plan on getting started. Tell me again the keywords for this Mini Renie that the homeowner said.
Storied, detailed, era authentic, artful twists.
I really feel like with this homeowner's style, that wallpaper is something that they would love. I like the lighter, that feels too midnight. Yeah, I think for sure this is the wallpaper. Knowing that the dining room is in the middle of the two spaces that we're also going to be touching, I wanted that to be kind of the magical space where we incorporate some crown molding, details, wallpapers, paint built in that's already existing, different colors so that it sticks out and it's highlighted. Create this whimsical garden setting, but inside.
I think picking paint colors based on this would be good.
What I'd love to do is like find that color or that color.
With the wallpaper selected, we can now move forward and choose a color for the living room. The biggest thing in the living room is to create a focal point on that back wall where the mantle is. In the living room, we're gonna paint the walls green, and then on the trim and the windows and the ceiling, we're gonna go with this light blue. We're going to add a new green tile to the fireplace and the hearth, and then we're gonna add molding on this back wall as a nice accent. These tiles for the breakfast nook, I love that one. And then in the breakfast nook, I had a small space to work with. You've got this beautiful existing wood window that I really wanted to highlight. What kind of color or pattern do we want to add there to just really create its own unique moment? So I chose a gold and white tile in a checkered pattern for the accent wall, a new light fixture, and then we're gonna add this simple shelf with copper and wood. You feel good about that?
Yeah, that sounds
Okay,
great.
this is gonna be like a fairy garden dining room.
Yeah, it's
Was that one of her keywords?
Okay,
that's ours.
It can be now.
Now that we feel like we have a really good sense of what we're wanting to do with this house, we're gathering all the materials, and the homeowner's gonna clear the house, they're gonna move out for a week, and then we're gonna get started. We'll be in and out before they get back.
Ooh, it's empty.
It is empty.
This is when I want to see paint on sample boards. I can just make sure that that color and that space looks right. I want to see the details that we've selected, because once I say go, it happens so fast. So is this going to be this whole back wall, right?
This whole back wall.
Using this trim for this textured look is a really simple way to create an accent wall. It just takes some careful measuring to keep it uniform. Just making sure this is our template, and then everything
And then
else can
everything else
follow.
just, yeah.
This is accent wall, and then everything else stays drywall. I need to pick a green. I'm also selecting the only two paint colors we'll be using for the entire space. Really, this is this color. The color I selected was Wedding Band Blue. This light blue is for the mantle, the windows, and all the molding trim work. And then Garden Party Green for the walls. In the dining room, we chose a really beautiful wallpaper, but also wanted to add trim work that just felt a little more special. So it's gonna go like that.
Yep.
What I love is even though it's detailed, we're gonna have that space, right? Wallpaper stops. Let me see that little trim. So we're gonna have trim paint from here all the way onto the ceiling, right? And I felt like the time period of the home typically would have a beautiful molding or a little more storytelling. So I wanted to add that with the egg and dart molding, but also a really traditional crown molding that we butt up together to make it a little more dramatic. And then a really simple little trim line as a little extra simple detail. Okay, last but not least, the breakfast nook. So tiling this back wall.
Well, this is what we decided.
I chose a rectangular version of that tile, so it felt a little more elongated. It made the space feel taller, but also in a very subtle way, how the orangey gold color ties back into the dining room wallpaper. You'll see these little hints of these gold dots or flowers or berries. Berries? Fruit? I'm leaving feeling pretty good about everything. I'm just gonna walk out. I'm gonna blink, I'm gonna come back, it's gonna be done, and I'm hoping it's gonna be right. Construction on Mini Renie starts today. With no walls or wood getting ripped up, it's just protecting the floors, removing molding and other fixtures, and we're just getting everything prepped to bring in the materials we've picked. We've got a few team members helping out to get everything done in a week, but each of these rooms can be done with 1 or 2 people. I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek of the offices. Now, we just moved in. For the past couple years, we've been finishing up our offices here for our Magnolia employees. What I love about it is that it truly is a way where we can all get together, work together, get inspired in this new space. I want to show you one of my favorite spots in the office. So this was the old Waco Tribune Herald. This was where they printed the newspapers. This was the press room. And so we called the little coffee section the press room. The building was built in the 50s, and so we were trying to do some of these mid-century nods. And so this is the tile that we're gonna use in this mini Renie with the other green we have on the wall and the light blue accent. So there we go, saving some money, one tile at a time. The mini Renie's flying. New crown molding has been installed in each of the rooms to give them a little more definition. And the screen molding has gone up on the living room wall, which is gonna be a really nice accent to the fireplace. And in the breakfast nook, the gold and white tiles have been installed. Let's walk over here so that you can see this. But when I first walked this space with Lindsay, I had decided green for the walls and the ceiling. But what I don't want is, as you step from the living room into the dining room, too much green going on with the green wallpaper. So I got it. What if we do this? We do this blue on the wall, mantle, windows.
I like that. So blue on the walls and trim in here?
Yeah, so I changed it to blue so that there wasn't too much green in the house. So after the painting is done, the only major thing left to do is put up wallpaper. That was fast. Everything looks really great. I'm very happy. I am interested once the lights come up a little bit, if it looks a little more blue. Right now it's reading a little more gray than I thought. I'm gonna come in here and look at this wallpaper. It's crazy. Now I'm in this room and this is a different color gray. Yeah, sometimes your first instinct is your best instinct, but I like to learn the hard way. Y'all, it looks purple and then green. What's happening? I am now facing what a lot of homeowners are facing when they're just like, I'm gonna paint this weekend. And then you realize when you've painted it a color, oh, that's not what I was expecting. I always like to see paint when it's like optimal lighting. So right now it's almost into the evening. It's overcast. So I've asked the team to paint one wall in the green that we originally chose. I'm gonna come back tomorrow when the sun is shining in the morning, fresh eyes, and then make my final decision. Now I'm seeing that, and I really want some wallpaper above this window. You know, anytime I look at design, I think about jeans. The wallpaper stopping at that point just looked like a really bad pair of jeans. It kind of accentuated the muffin top. It actually made the room look shorter and squattier. Can you just put this over that line? I just want to see. I'd rather that. My solution was high-waisted jeans. Take that wallpaper all the way to the crown molding, and all of a sudden you look long and lean. I like the smell of wallpaper. It's like my old sticker book. On to other problems and adventures. In the breakfast nook, I wanted to play with a copper material to play off a little bit of the gold that's happening on the tile next to the wood windows. I wanted it to just be a simple shelf with some copper accents that you can get at your local hardware store and some shelves that we painted white. It helps just finish out the story of that breakfast nook. I am back. I asked the team to paint this wall green, or just this little section, and now we're back to green on the walls, blue on the trim. So I'm approving this right now. And we added this trim above this cased opening that matched the trim and that built-in that's original. Now you can see that contrast. I think it's really pretty. And then last but not least, now you can see here where he started adding above that little piece of trim, and it just makes everything go up, it just feels complete. Because now you'll see this, which was like the whole design inspo for the case opening there. Now, once there's wallpaper here, you'll see this really beautiful architecture that we wanted to highlight. So I think it's the right call. It's gonna take another half day, but the next time I'm in this space, it's done and we're moving furniture in. Now that I've committed to the green, the walls are getting painted and it's time to style the home. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Joe.
Oh, it's so pretty in here. So this morning I'm at the Silos shopping for the mini Renie. The Magnolia home showroom truly is a resource for the renovations that we do here in town. I've got to think through living room, dining, breakfast nook. Okay, this thing's gonna be done in 2 days, and so I gotta get my head on straight as far as making sure I know what furniture's going in, where it's going, because this thing is happening a lot faster than I assumed. For the breakfast nook, this is what I was thinking, Ashley.
Yeah.
The round table. Let's walk this way. I love this whole setup. I love the linen and the black chairs, but this may be too long.
Okay.
But I love this. I have to keep in mind, I went a little bolder with pattern and color than I typically do. So I'm wanting things that are gonna help tone that down a little bit. This one is different in that it's a lighter wood, and with all that's going on with the wallpaper, this could be a really good option just to ground the space. When I'm looking for furniture, the job is to really bring some beautiful neutral pieces into the space that will help tie all of the design together. Ooh, these chairs. Those chairs. Those are the chairs.
Those are so fun.
So those two boucle chairs will go by the mantle, this coffee table, and then the velvet sofa, and then that bookshelf.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
Let's run real quick to the grain barn to look at some of the antique pieces.
Okay.
I love that the homeowner was just like, hey, take everything out and just dream about this space in the way that you want to dream about it. Maybe something like this.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
I feel like the bigger pieces, like the sofa, the dining table, even the table for the breakfast nook, these are the pieces that I think are really gonna ground the room. And so I feel good about the selections. I can't wait to see this house in the next day or two. It's really gonna start coming together. Thank you for meeting me this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, text me if you have any other questions.
Okay,
Okay,
I will.
Bye,
Joe.
Ashley.
Hey, the guys are putting up the shelf.
Great, looks awesome.
They're worried about the weight, but if we ran the post to the floor, they could actually be supportive.
Keep it at the ceiling and then just also at the base.
So you'd rather see it touching the ceiling and touching the floor?
Yeah.
Great, we can do that.
Crew, these are almost taller than you too. Crew and I are in the garden this morning. I've got to pick some flowers for mini Renie. Crew's thing right now is that all the flowers are taller than him, so he's loving that they're growing tall and strong like him. But we're gonna pick some flowers and take them back to the house today. Very tall.
Over here!
Over here, oh, thank you.
Here.
Okay, a few more and then we're ready to go. All the construction's done, the house has been cleaned. We're moving in the furniture that I selected. This really is that moment of truth. When it comes to styling, one of my biggest pieces of advice is you've gotta ground your space. It's that idea of like centering the room. And I think one of the best ways to do that is pick a rug that you love, whether that be the texture, the color, the pattern, but let that be that neutral thing in the middle that just says, okay, this is where we're gonna sit. This is where we're gonna enjoy ourselves. And then from there, have fun with all the layers. Alec, that other chair just goes on this other corner here. I think one of my favorite things to do is truly mixing old with new. So it doesn't just feel like you bought all brand new things. You want your house to feel storied and collected. That goes over there. It's like this fresh garden-inspired room, but in your formal dining room. For us, we love to get to do this to show a complete home. Don't rush those details. Don't feel like it's gotta look like something in a magazine on day one. You're gonna have some empty spots and you just need to be okay with it. Let your home evolve as your story evolves, because that's truly the space where you're living out the moments that you'll look back on one day and cherish. And so for me, it's like, take your time. Okay, it's reveal day at Mini Renie. I can't wait to show you what we did. Come on in. Welcome to Mini Renie. So here in the living room, I'd say the biggest things we did, we played with color. The homeowner loves color, so we painted all the walls a really nice garden green, and then on the windows and the trim and the ceiling, we did a nice subtle blue. So this was the focal point of this room. You know, it's funny because you walk in here and you see a window. It was really trying to center and ground this space. And with that, I wanted to add texture and color and some layers. And so the first thing we did was add these little thin slats, very simple. Added that, created our own little vertical pattern. And then the other thing is just playing with tones. You've got your lighter green here with this glossy finish, and then adding this deeper green tile that really just kind of freshened up something that I felt like just needed a little stepping up. Added this pretty little detail that is replica of what is happening in our hallway. This is the position when we were designing this space, we really were looking at it from right here. This was it. How do we create some dimension and texture and story and era authentic detail that she loves? We really wanted to create like a magical moment in the dining room. You have a lot of pattern and color. I wanted to make sure that everything in the center really grounded this space. But the table, I wanted it to be a lighter wood that felt really natural, almost just like when you step in, it invites you into the space. I wanted the detail to be on the walls and the trim work and just let this be this grounding moment for this room. I did want to add a little hint of color here to the table. So this color taper was very intentional to match these little tiny cute berries in the wallpaper. So again, it's like pulling everything to the center so that all the design plays well together. Neutral rug that tied into the color of the flowers, so there wasn't too much green happening. This built in, we just painted it, but left all the details on it. This really is what we based our design off in this space. Having the wallpaper go all the way up to the ceiling, I think really just creates this height in here that you didn't feel beforehand, that I think really just create this magical moment here in this dining room. Now stepping into this breakfast nook. What I love about this space is we just had a little bit of space to work with, so we wanted to do something that felt impactful. Adding the tile on this back wall and an interesting pattern and play on color. Adding this light, delicate little light fixture that I think really helps balance all of the harder lines that are happening in this kitchen. I wanted to do a round table so it was more functional for the family. And then adding this cute bookshelf that the guys did with the copper and the wood, I think just creates more of a moment here that feels a little set apart from the kitchen. It flows really well, but still plays off the dining room well. So when you walk in, it all ties together, but it's still unique and set apart. Before, it was really simple and you really needed your furniture to be the hero. Now what I love is whatever you put in the middle, it just works well because it's surrounded by really simple but pretty design. I feel like this mini Renie was fast. We didn't have to touch the floors. We didn't knock any walls down. We stayed under budget, minus the main switch. We really just stepped in and just added some thoughtful layers. So I hope you see with this mini Renie that you can just do one or two simple things to really transform a space. I'm ready for the next one.